There you have it, my friends. The intro video, and happy Monday to you all. Heyo, greetings, friends, and welcome back to another episode of DreamWizard Plays. It seems like my video is once again cutting off the top of my head. I thought I fixed that. Fuck it. Who cares? I just noticed. But there it is. This is DreamWizard Plays episode 406, Disco Elysium, Director's Cut from 2021, Part 16. We're entering our fourth week, my friends. I had no idea that this was going to happen. I had some sneaking suspicions further I got along, but boy, are we going to finish this week? I don't know. No idea. I am clueless. I am without the ability to scry my own potential progress through this, completely out of my depth. How you doing? Say hello in the chat on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Trovo, Kick. And if you're watching on X, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll come by and say hello later when this is all done. Would you kindly, wherever you are, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell them right now, get them into the chat. The more the merrier. The more people giving me a hard time for not knowing what the hell I'm doing, the more people giving me advice for how to proceed, the better, because I have no idea what I'm doing. And you're probably better at this than I am, so let's make it happen. I probably should have clicked this button too. Hey, if you'd like to support my work, I have 17 currently available works of historical dream literature, book 3. 1, 2, 3 in the series is right over here. It is Oniro Chronologia, Volume 1, Part 1 of 3 from 2021. It is my 3-part anthology series featuring shorter works of historical dream literature that otherwise would not make a full book. You know, I'm not going to sell a book that's 60 pages long. Other people do. No shame, no shade. It's not me. When you get a book from me, it's going to feel like a book. It's going to be solid. It's going to be thick. It's going to... That's what she said. Whereas Craig Ferguson once almost made his tagline, "That sounded dirty." Yeah. When you get it from me, it's thick. It absolutely is. These are, especially this one, I think, oh man, I can't even read that up there. It's north of 300 pages minimum, 350, I think, something like that. One of them was almost 400, maybe more than that. You buy a book from me, you're getting a real book. And there you go. If you would like to buy a book, you can get all this and more, of course, at benjaminthedreamwizard.com, including a full listing of all of these books, as what you see above. Also, you can find downloadable MP3 versions of the latest podcast episodes. This one came out on Saturday, Dreamscapes episode 162, Esprit d'Aventure. There may be many of you out there, because I've just now started talking about it, who don't know that I do dream interpretation interviews, hence the name Benjamin the Dream Wizard. It's not just branding, it's actually what I do. If you would like to be a guest, reach out to me. I am not currently overloaded with scheduling. I was last week. Boy, I'm glad. I had 4 people book and 3 of them showed up. That was fantastic. I've got slots open for later this week and pretty much free for the next month solid. If you've got a dream, I want to talk to you. Let's make an episode, and you can be featured just like this. Here we go. All right. Let's get that off the screen. Also, if you would head on over to benjaminthedreamwizard.locals.com, you can get this here, the recipe for Socialist Champagne. It is the custom cocktail for this run of Disco Elysium. It is a Locals exclusive recipe. You got to go there and sign up to be a member. It's free to join. It's just another social media. It's attached to my Rumble account. If you are watching on Rumble, you should already be a member. And you can donate if you like. That's the place that gives creators the best ratio of the donation compared to YouTube, which I think takes 30% or something like that. So if you are ever inclined to say, give me a super chat, etc., I would rather receive it on Rumble, where I get to keep more of your money that you're trying to send me. So I appreciate that. If you have a beverage of your own choice, be it water, whiskey, Socialist champagne, or otherwise, would you raise your glass along with me? We'll do the toast and get into the game. Here we go. Ein Prosit der Gemütlichkeit. Nostrovia. Kanpai. Salud. Cheers to you. And here's mud in your eye. Alrighty. You know, just kind of because I just did the toast and I drink on every stream. I'll address that briefly. Don't overdo it, kids. You know, I drink for a couple hours while I play video games, and then, you know, I'm not getting sloshed by the end of the stream. I'm not just taking straight shots. Although, I'm not above taking money to do that. I'm just not going to get so trashed that I embarrass myself publicly too much. Maybe a little. Maybe just a little for you. But that being the case, you know, go easy. Moderation is the key. Oh, shit, I forgot all about this. We got, okay, first things first. I need to have a conversation with our friend Kim here because he's got things to say. Kim, what's on your mind, brother?
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
You think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
In a hushed voice, I respond, why did she tell us all of that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
I'm not so sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
She seems candid.
You think so? Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor with some facts thrown in draws attention away from whatever one chooses to omit.
All right. Good for you, Kim, being suspicious. That's kind of what a cop has to do.
She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our inquiries will bring us back here soon enough.
Okay. Well, the mission was, we're going to go back at a later time and ask Claudia about the specifics of the man. We have spoken to the assault victim, and now we got to go back and confront the Hardy Boys and tell them, hey, she says she was not a victim. What's going on here? I mean, I feel bad kind of throwing her under the bus because...
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88.
Whoa, if we're in 51 and the last maintenance was, what is that? That's 1250, that's 63 years ago. Let's look at the elevator controls.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken.
Of course it is. Kim, it says the last maintenance was in 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it.
88. The elevator was maintained a long time ago.
At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
This elevator must have been needed to transport the pinball machines up and down.
Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator.
He taps on the guttering light bulb. It's golden in the dark. I'm going to leave, and we're going to save it again, just because I don't want to have to repeat that convo with Kim. Quick save. Let's get in the elevator.
The elevator stands open.
Close the
inviting
doors.
You to step inside.
And that's what we do. I close the doors and go up. Because we wrote it down in the first place. I guess they didn't expect me to only have been able to access this by coming in from the top? I mean, how was I supposed to... What is this?
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. A long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now.
I got a cat sneezing in the windowsill.
The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like they gave up on fixing the pinball machines at some point.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
So this used to be a pinball workshop, huh?
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
He taps his foot.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the hearties bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
So Whirling in Rags was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade. This is all left over from that.
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection.
Me too. I got plus 5 XP just for learning a bit of lore about the world. This game appears to be 99% learning lore. Getting to see behind the surface of what's going on in these people's lives in this fictional place and how it perhaps parallels our own. Oh.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Could this mean the Whirling in Rags really is part of the doomed commercial area?
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion.
Oh, we got another reason to talk to Gart, huh? All right.
He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Certainly. Ooh, where'd that yawn come from? New task added, the doomed hostel? Question mark. Dun, dun, dun. Right.
It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and Gart ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells.
That is my inland empire. It's my psychological state, my gut feeling. I don't know what inland empire actually is, but anyway. Actually, is that, can I look at that? What is it? Inland empire. Hunches and gut feelings, dreams and waking life. Yeah, my hunches and gut feelings. There you have it. All right. I finished the thought. Which is not the same as perish the thought. I guess we're out of here. Wow, this poor gal could have had so much more room. They should expand that. Break it down. I mean, it becomes a master suite. I'm going to guess it's not time to reconnect with her yet.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
All kinds of things I can ask her. Slight confusion about the bullet. +1. Volition. Look her in the eye. Let's see if we can boost our volition.
Why not?
And I am gonna try that. Boost the volition. That's not the button I was looking for. Any of these clothes give me let's see. Volition is not it already has a +1. It is from the necktie. Alright. So we're looking at anything but neckties. Hats that boost volition. Empathy, logic, savoir-faire, esprit de corps, half-light, logic, drama, esprit de corps, physical instrument, drama, volition. Hey, that boosts volition. Nice. Miss Sparkles says, hello, Ben. Hello, Miss Sparkles. Apparently I have no pants that boost volition. Boots. My glasses don't do it. I've already put on a new shirt. Conceptualization. Yeah, we're not going to get a better boost, I don't think. Just means we got to roll and roll and roll less. Ms. Sparkle says, I was harassing my friend Review Tech but he is too busy feeding the trolls. Fair enough. Well, come harass me. I enjoy harassment, sexual or otherwise. All right, I guess we've done the best we can. We're going to back out of here. We'll do another little... where is it? Where's the button? There it is. We'll do another quick save, and let's see if I can look her in the eye. 58% chance.
Day for questions.
Here we go.
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful.
Well...
I have bad news for you.
What's that, brother?
You know these guys?
Who guys?
Who? Me? Yes, you. He's talking about you, you boring stiff. You too. Me? What did I do? These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info. You can't trust them anymore.
Looks like my own internal logic and sense of drama have been compromised by Clausier. Excuse me. Little tickle. Miss Sparkle says, even if you don't like it, you would have to learn to, because, to be honest, you're my first choice in who I harass. Welcome to DreamWizard Plays, your one-stop shop for all your harassment needs. Let's see. Volition. How do I respond? I'm going to say, what?
Believe it.
Which of my internal registers are affected, Volition?
There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume. All of them.
So we're not entirely certain we can trust this gal. She is a true femme fatale. Getting by on her misdirection, confusion, exploiting her looks.
Bullshit, man. I ain't compromised.
Electrochemistry, which says smoke all the smokable things, drink all the drinkable things, and fuck all the fuckable things, is the least compromised. Of course he would say that.
Especially that guy.
Especially.
That guy's the most compromised one in here.
You're goddamn right.
No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol ziggy. Really? Quick. Tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness. Protect her. She wants you.
That is exactly what electrochemistry would say.
I take it back. He's got it pretty bad. But this next guy's on another level entirely.
This next guy, huh? Who's that?
She likes you. The crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature.
So, electrochemistry and suggestion are unreliable. Says volition, which is supposed to be my willpower. Is my own internal sense of willpower not trustworthy for some reason? We all have our own stubbornness for different reasons, and it isn't always right. But I get the feeling that he is on the right track. That my willpower is saying, hey, don't get taken in. Don't be a sucker. Miss Sparkle says, I clipped you saying that, and I am posting it on Twitter. You're hilarious. Oh, thank you. That is fantastic. There is no better art than fan art. Let me tell you. Clipping included. Love it. You post it, and I'll repost it. Okay. I'm going to ask my volition, how did this happen?
How it always does. Through subtlety.
Subtlety. Well, what can I do about it?
There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do.
But can't you turn my internal senses normal again?
No.
Well, then what's the use of any of this?
It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not?
Does that mean she's been lying to me?
I think it's safe to assume, yes. Mr. Thespian here hasn't been speaking up. If he were, I suspect there would be paeans to her truthfulness. Like this. No, he's not going to show up. I'm sorry. Your lie detection isn't working. It's not her doing. He's just totally inept. It looks like you're also an idiot. But that's not her fault. No, not an idiot. You're just more of a sensitive type. Thinks with his heart. This woman's pain draws you in.
What is her pain?
You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one he usually does says, she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious.
Throwing out a theory here. Initially, I suspected that this woman was the third member of the mercenary team. And then I was like, oh, she's the go-go dancer. Well, maybe she's both. Maybe that is exactly who she said, and that's why she doesn't have ID. We're just taking her word for it. Her name is Clausier. Says who? She hasn't shown me her ID, her passport. Now, that could be faked as well. Granted. I'm wondering if that's, she rolled into town to use her style of subterfuge, manipulation, sowing discord to try and solve this thing in a way that was not directly physical, not violently physical, physical perhaps in other ways. I'm starting to have that suspicion. I just want to mark today at about 5:30 on Monday during episode 406, part 16. That is my official theory. And we'll see if that plays out. I think that might be what she's hiding. She is manipulating us. She was never raped by that guy. And she has such strong feelings with him, about him, because they were partners in this mercenary thing. Ms. Sparkle says, Twitter is so dumb sometimes. I try to add you in a post and you wouldn't pop up. I had to go and search for you. Ms. Sparkles, regarding my theory, I assume, says, maybe. And then she says, but I like violence. Well, that's kind of hot. As long as it's a consensual snuggle struggle, right? Moving on.
See?
Here.
It's oddly moderate. Probably compromised.
Well, we already know my volition doesn't trust my logic. Logic can be self-serving in its own way. So, fair enough. I mean, be suspicious of logic, but that logic wasn't entirely wrong. And all of that may be true, and she's still not to be trusted. So, there's that. I like this speculation. I'm having fun with just wondering, what's going on? I love watching shows on TV and or movies and guessing the plot twist. And it's even better. Well, it only works if I don't actually know what's going to happen. But it's even better when there's someone there to tell. So it's not just like, well, I know I was right, but the other person gets to be impressed too. I'm like, oh, here's my theory. And then, bam, it turns out, I'd say probably 70, 80% of the time I'm able to call that shit. If I call it at all. Like, if I'm not sure, I just won't say it. But like, if I'm pretty sure what's going on, I like to say it out loud just to put it on the record. All right. Well, looks like I've been talking to myself long enough. Let's get back to it.
Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this.
I'm going to say it out loud. Miss, are you manipulating me?
The silence broken. She exhales a little cloud of smoke and says,
God, no.
She says, God, no. Well, of course she would. What did I expect? I expect to see a little something in her eyes that says, I'm busted. All right. So I can talk to her about her room, about the so-called assault, show her the flower. Let's see here. Well, let's look through some of these options. Miss Sparkle says, I've talked about how I thought I was a bad person because the first time I found something hot was in the movie 300. It was the slow motion fighting. That was hot. Found out yesterday later I am not that bad. Oh, there's many worse things. And there's what am I trying to say? I don't believe, honestly, that I have any homosexual tendencies. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but honestly. But then again, I can appreciate that those guys were hot. I know what you mean. That is a well-formed human male. So, and I very much understand why women find that attractive, particularly that kind of raw brutality of the demonstration of physical aggression. Like, ooh. And you're not alone. That's actually very common. That's actually in your DNA. It's been in the human DNA for 350,000 years. Yeah. So if you didn't know any better, if you didn't know, yeah, that's pretty much how most women feel. Even if they won't admit it, it's part of their psychology. They can't, if you're a woman and that turns you off, you're a little broken or, not being honest with yourself. I'm going on record. Yeah. But if you had no one to talk to or to compare stories with, you might feel a little shameful about that. Like, why would I find that? That's aggressive. Aggression's not okay. Yeah. Anyway, well, I'm glad you found out you're not alone and that it's nothing to be ashamed of. It is, in fact, perfectly human of you. Ms. Sparkle says, I'm listening while trying to repaint my entertainment center. Wonderful. Years ago, not yesterday. Yes, indeed. Indeed. But you didn't know that until you were way older. It's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. And I think it is literally because of shame, because people have too much shame around sexual issues. We shouldn't be, the phrase I've used recently was sexually incontinent. That's a bad thing for a lot of reasons. For the same reason we shouldn't be, fecally incontinent. We should put it in the toilet where it belongs. If you got to poop, there's a right place and a right time and a right way to do it. The same with sexual matters. But we should be able to talk about these things a little bit more and not have so much shame around it and have a little bit more of an understanding of what's normal. And I would say, definitely we don't want to be talking to kindergartners about this kind of stuff. Like, hey, when you get older, 10, 15 years from now, and you finally develop a sex drive, here's what you might find interesting. That's not the right time. But, somewhere around puberty, when these drives kick in, having some of those frank conversations is probably a good idea so people don't think they're weird. Yeah. Anyway. True. Agreed. We have settled it. We've solved all the world's problems. None of this is playing the game. I got opinions. Let me tell you. Why are we on week 4 of playing this game? Because I talk too much. All right, back to the game. I ask Miss Clausier, I need to talk to you about your room again, just to clear off some of these dialogue tree options.
Yeah?
That door behind us that I kicked open, did you know that leads to a downstairs elevator?
I did not. Mystery solved then. I kept wondering where it led.
Me too. If there's ever an unopened door, I want to see what's behind it. Just out of curiosity, even if it's disappointing when I finally open it. And most closed doors lead to nothing you're interested in. It's just true.
There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's holding back. Let's make a mental note for now.
Miss Clausier, there's a peephole on the other side, looking into your bedroom.
A peephole? You mean like a hole in the wall?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, looking into your bedroom, miss.
The lieutenant points to her window. The unmade bed is visible through the glass.
Okay.
There's a pause as she processes this information. Miss Sparkle says, I don't have sex ed in school or time in school life now. My youngest teacher is awesome and asked me if I wanted him to learn it a few years back, and she looked uncomfortable having to teach it in elementary school, but she said she was mandated. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with kids. They're fine over there. I don't hate kids. I just don't want to be around them. I'd rather not deal with them. I don't want to be responsible for them. I don't have any kids of my own. Also, I think I would choose, and I have chosen, not to discuss sex with preteens or pubertal children. That is not anything I would remotely be comfortable with, nor savor any kind of opportunity to engage in that behavior. Not at all. Not for me. Like maybe for $1 million or less. Maybe, honestly, I'd probably take a lot less if I had to. A gun to my head. If I had to, I could do it. But I don't want to. I'm not looking for an opportunity. And God, if I was a teacher, I would not be looking forward to that semester in school. Miss Sparkle says, I hate my state. They just recently passed a lot of crap for school. Yeah, I get high school and towards the end of middle school. Yeah, exactly. There's a time and a place, and if you look at all the years of a kid's life up to, say, 18, and you look at all the possible information you could tell them, you don't tell them everything as young as possible. You tell them what's necessary for the right time and the right circumstances. And a lot of it you leave the door open for questions. I mean, I kind of know these. I know these things intellectually. I've never had to navigate this with a kid. Don't have any kids. But the idea is you let them know, hey, you got questions. I'm going to take them seriously. I'm not going to make fun of you. You're not going to be in trouble for having questions. You can ask me or tell me anything, and we're gonna talk it out. We're gonna figure it out, and you let them kind of what they're comfortable with. They'll say, hey, what is this thing? What is that? I heard something. Can you explain it to me? I get that. That's fine. Miss Sparkle says, but now it's in elementary school twice, and in middle school, and in high school. Yeah, I think there's too much. You don't want to leave it out. You don't want it so puritanical that's like it's so shameful and forbidden we can't talk about it. You don't want to talk about it every day all the time. You don't want to demystify it that much. There's a series of books. Here we go. Here's me going on a rant while I'm supposed to be playing the game. But there's a series of books by the writer Piers Anthony from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and maybe even up till today. He's not dead, and I think he's still writing these books. It's called the Xanth novels. Xanth, about a mythical, magical realm suspiciously shaped like the state of Florida wherein he lives. And he has in those books what is referred to as, quote unquote, the adult conspiracy. And it is, kids are curious and they want to know things maybe before they're ready. Fair enough. But the adults have chosen, we're not going to tell kids about that stuff. There's certain things you can't see, there's certain things you can't know because you're not ready. And that is, as in real life, the adult conspiracy. We have this conspiracy to withhold information from children because they're not ready for it. And there is a time and a place. And commentary on the modern world, I think we've lost a bit too much of right time, right place when it comes to introducing children to certain ideas. It's not a good thing. I am not a fan. I do not 100% disavow all of that stuff. So, oh yeah, and they're fun, light novel, fantasy world stuff. I would say probably the first 5 or 6 of those novels, high fantasy fiction, of course. Anyway, the first 5 or 6 of them are a lot more dense and a lot more serious. For all that I'm saying, it's kind of a lighthearted fantasy. The further he goes into the series, the more progressively silly it gets. But still good stories, still fun. Anyway, one of my favorite authors growing up as a kid. Like I read probably 20 of those Xanth novels before I was like, I can't keep up with them anymore. I got other things I want to read. Anyway, that was good stuff. So, okay, Miss Clausier was pausing as she processed this information. I think we've given her plenty of time to speak, or plenty of time to think.
A jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body, beginning from her shoulders and ending in her hips. The cigarette tastes foul to her now.
Do you think this is somehow connected to me?
We don't know at this point.
Okay. Do you have any way of knowing how long it has been there?
Unfortunately, no. But if I were to guess, Long enough. The perforation is under the bookshelf on your wall. It should not be hard to cover with some tape.
Miss Clausier, if it is recent, who do you think made it?
Shit. I don't know. Maybe it's been there for a long time. Maybe the local kids use it or something. I don't know. I'll be fucking covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there?
There were some tracks on the floor, and they were recent.
Huh. This isn't good.
She's straight as a stick, suddenly. She feels like quarry, encircled. Her eyes dart to the door.
What we found back there is an old pinball workshop. The room behind your room. This place used to be a pinball arcade.
Okay. I'm glad someone's had fun.
Well, I guess that's enough about that for now.
Mm-hmm.
She flicks ash from her cigarette absent-mindedly.
She's lost in thought. Eyes narrowed, forehead furrowed.
Miss Sparkle says, my youngest asked me about sex stuff a couple of months ago. We are going to talk about it tomorrow. He turned 12 yesterday. He is my baby, so I am sad. Yeah, that's a sign of leaving childhood when they hit a certain age and they're like, Now I have genuine curiosity, and you look at it and go, yeah, it's about time to start telling you some things you're going to need to know. Miss Sparkle says, I'll check out the book series. I also need to check out the, what is it? Yes, it's 1984, that book. Anyways, play your game. I got a sandpaper. Yes, back to work for both of us. All right, moving on with other questions.
All right.
She takes a long, pensive drag from her Astra menthol. Let's talk more about this so-called assault.
Not my favorite topic, but okay.
She flicks the ash. Looks like there are no new questions in this category.
How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
How about this wildflower, I say, showing her the petals in my pocket.
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Well, thanks for that. I didn't want you to destroy it.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style?
Why do you think that was here?
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
The wind could be a reason. Sure. Let's say, all right, we're going to get into this, and I might change my mind or regret this course of events, but it's a conversational option. I'm going to ask her, I noticed your room is close to mine. I have a personal question.
Yes. You're just one room away. Very personal.
She says, pouring herself more coffee. She also said it in a kind of husky, sexy voice kind of way. Very personal. All right, what do we got here? Well, I actually like this this train of thought. I'm going to ask her, were you in here on Sunday night? I need to know what I did before I lost my memory.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions. Like,
Kim waits for you to finish the sentence. But I have a new task. Later, apparently, when Kim's not around, I can ask Clausier about Sunday night. What the hell did I do? Kim's just going to cock block my questions about my lost memory. Motherfucker.
Get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here.
Yep. All right, well, let's talk about that later. There you have it. I have a new task just by running down the tree. And apparently, this is not the time I was supposed to come. We haven't given it enough time at all to talk about the description of the hanged man. Wow, she really did have a good view right from here. She just stand up here smoking and stare at it all night long. It's crazy. There's a door. There's a door over here. Oh. Is that something am I an idiot and I've just never been over here? I've never walked around the side of the building far enough to see there's a damn door right there. Shit. Well, let's go. We got to go downstairs and talk to the boys. As I was saying earlier, I felt bad about like throwing her under the bus. I have to go tell them that she says they're lying. I hate doing that to anybody. I would make a good detective. I'd be like, I suppose Claudia knew she was talking to me and knew I'm a detective and knew I'm under no obligation to keep this stuff secret. In fact, I'm going to ask anything I damn well please to try and get the case solved. But still, it doesn't sit well with me. Yeah, I enjoy puzzle solving, but man, the human element messes with my head.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Let's ask him about something else.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Man up and be mean. But I have a very strong feminine side. I'm more of the trustworthy confidant, I'm more like someone you can tell your problems to. I'm going to help you work through them, and I'll keep it quiet. Not really like I am not a dirty Harry. It's just not, that is not my way. Even though I do my dream interpretations publicly, still. Let's see. Gart Clausier in room 3. She was the one who nicked the phone line.
Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building.
Yeah, more the teddy bear style. You're right. Well, Gart, anyway, mystery solved. I don't like loose ends.
Yeah, neither do I. Thank you for telling me, I guess. Good thing she pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it.
There you go. Gart, what if I told you I got into the back room behind the blue steel door?
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
He's really, really holding himself back here.
He wants to know. He's got his own curiosity, doesn't he?
It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Come on, Gart. Aren't you going to ask me what's back there?
Okay, what is back there?
Pinball machines. It's a pinball workshop.
Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here, too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Why? Do you want to play? Because I might be up for a game.
No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
Let's see. What do we got here? Cha-cha-cha. I could ask him, are you thinking of turning this place back into a pinball arcade? I could ask, if you are thinking of selling those machines, I want a fat cut. C-suite shit. Beat your chest. I'm a disruptor. Or I feel a capitalist plot coming up. Yona says, Ben, I'm making potato bread. I love potato bread. I love those sweet Hawaiian buns, too. I love making little sandwiches out of them. Sometimes you make little sliders, like tiny brick, sliders. We know what a slider is. Anyway, but I also like making little ham sandwiches, ham and cheese sandwiches, and then put them in the microwave, and then the cheese melts. So good. I'm wondering if this is you get to answer with one of these and it cuts me off. I want a cut of the money. If I can, I'll ask him about turning this place back into a pinball. I'll ask him all the questions if I can, but let's see if he's got some money for me.
Those machines are whirling property. But if it makes you feel any better, I'm not planning to sell them.
Okay, not planning to sell them.
It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area.
We still got to break that news to him.
He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
Yeah. I'm going to tell him because I want to see what he says. Otherwise, maybe... Here's the thing. If I took curses seriously, I would definitely want to tell him. But since I don't, personally, or rather, that's not how I think curses work. I'll tell you why in a minute. But personally, since I don't think curses are a thing, why would I put that in someone's head? Why would I warn them, you might be cursed, and now they're going to worry about a curse? Don't worry about it. Just in case they believe in curses. I'm not going to do that to someone. Excuse me. Now, the way I think curses do work is if you know about a curse and you believe in curses and you choose to challenge that curse anyway, and there's something about being the kind of person who throws caution to the wind, who takes unnecessary risks, who goes through the motion of flaunting, challenging demons to possess you in that sort of a way. You're probably going to be the kind of person that is the architect of your own catastrophe because you're too full of yourself. You get too much pride. So that's my thought on curses. They're real in a certain way, but it's more of a psychological way. And that's my story. And then I found $10. But we're going to tell him just to see what happens. Guard, I have to warn you. I may have discovered that the whirling is part of the doomed commercial area.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this.
Wait a minute, so you know about the curse?
Everyone knows of it.
Well, the whirling is listed on the intercom outside as one of the businesses in Building B of the doomed commercial area.
I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the whirling.
Hold on, you're saying not once? Isn't that already a sign of decline?
It's a sign of the whirling in rags not being part of the doomed commercial area. If anything, we're revitalizing this neighborhood.
Relax, Mr. Gart. I'm sure there is no doom. He simply wants to share his discoveries with you.
I say to Gart, the whirling was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade, which failed, though perhaps the whirling will escape the curse.
Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This pre-revolutionary tilework, these high ceilings, the nice rooms, well, most of the rooms. For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, if some doom ghost...
He steadies his voice.
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him.
You really care about the whirling, don't you?
Yeah, it's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way, even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area.
Well, you shouldn't be so worried about that label, you know?
I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's doomed enough without that.
Task complete. Speak to Gart about the doomed hostel. Plus 10 XP. Level up. Gart, tell me, who owns this place?
Some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved.
Well, who named it the Whirling in Rags? It's an odd name.
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song.
Oh, we've got some commentary here. You guys were talking to each other, so I was ignoring it mostly. Miss Sparkle says, my grandma on my dad's side said, in total seriousness, that the women in my family are all cursed. Cursed with not being loved. She told me a whole story about my great-great-grandmother being kind of a hoe and sleeping with a married man. That's a really good take on curses, Ben. I kind of agree with you on that, but there have been those who have ignored warnings, heeded, and paid the price. Yona says, yeah, Miss Sparkles, we got the curse of attracting abusive men. Yona also says, I agree with Gart. We're doomed. Doomed, I tell you. You know, there's another take on curses, which, so we're looking at like the metaphysical, mythological truth of these kinds of phenomenon. There's a thing, and it carries down family lines. It is we would say the cycle of abuse, perhaps. We've got broken people who hurt the people close to them, and those people become broken, and the cycle carries on from generation to generation. So basically breaking the cycle of poor choices, drug addiction, physical abuse, sexual abuse, all these kind of things that can go wrong with families. Breaking that cycle is like breaking a curse, and making sure that it doesn't get passed to the next generation. Now, it's not as easy as that, and it probably takes a lot of work. You know, the stronger the curse, the stronger the counter charm you have to craft out of your behavior and self-control and insight and social skills, all of the above. So, I mean, I think these things are very real. It's funny when we put it in those kind of supernatural terms, but I think it's true. I think it's very true. It's a very real thing that we do see, and calling it a curse is the ancient way of understanding what it is. And in modern times, we demystify it. Literally take the mystery out of it by describing it as, generational trauma passed down from father to son to, grandson, etc., etc. Oh, another good take, Ben. Thank you very much. I really do have a background in psychology. I'm just making that shit up. I've been thinking about this stuff for a long time, and how it fits with our ancient understandings. Like, I don't think any of our ancestors were wrong about things. Maybe the whole flat earth thing, you can believe whatever you want. They didn't know any better. You look all around you 360 degrees and all you see is flat. You're going to kind of assume it's flat. Fair enough. We didn't have the ability to kind of figure out it was a ball in space moving around the sun until much later. You can be forgiven for just being ignorant and coming up with a story that makes sense. Fair enough. But a lot of other stuff, like human relationships, how we interact with each other, patterns of behavior that produce better or worse results, this stuff is old, and we've forgotten too many lessons. And it keeps getting rediscovered after periods of ignorance. And we go, wow, what were we thinking? We've known this stuff all along. I think that's what tradition is supposed to do. It's supposed to be the process of passing down historical, cultural knowledge about right ways of being in the world that produce better results. Anyway, but then it gets wrapped up in this.
Good pick.
Whoa, the cat's stepping on the keyboard, and we're missing the entire conversation. Baby girl, don't you dare. You know better than to step on the keyboard. All right, what do we got here? I asked Gart, did you name the Whirling in Rags? He says, you look surprised. What? It's a great name. I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song. I ask, a song? Gart replies, Hail Holy Queen by the Etenier. Hail Holy Queen of the Sea, he quotes, you're whirling in rags. You're vast and you're sad. Kim busts in and says, that's a good pick, while nodding his head. Let's ask him, Gart, what about those other cafeterias you manage?
What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Kraz Mazov and Ignis Nielsen and all those old ghosts.
He's hesitating, not sure if he should share this information with you. Encourage him.
How about the others?
The other is a kebab cart. It's very successful in its way, but it's nothing like the whirling.
Well, good luck to you with this place, then.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help.
Well, I hope so. It was not my intention to come in here and destroy the place. That just happened to be how it turned out.
So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up?
Guard, I got to level with you. There's a peephole in the wall upstairs.
What wall?
Upstairs in the secret back room, right next to Clausier's bedroom. I found it when I found the pinball machines.
I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
The color has drained from his face.
Since he didn't know about the pinball machines, I'm going to guess he's not the one who was making use of that peephole. But that means someone else has the key to that blue steel door back there. And that means I'm probably not going to find it in the bushes outside. Although what that key might be. All right, let's continue.
What a shame to fix such a good peephole.
Of course, my electrochemistry is a complete perv. Okay. I could challenge him. Have you been spying on the guests? I'm not going to say that. I believe him. I believe he didn't know. I don't think he has the key. He says he doesn't have the key. Then again, that's what a peeper would say if he didn't want you discovering there's a peephole up there. I could ask him, and to be honest, I thought this would be an option. I could ask him to keep the peephole there and say, there might be some hotties staying in that room, and give him a knowing wink. Or I can say, all right, you've been notified. I'm not going to challenge him. I think he was not the peeper. I'm not going to ask him to keep the whole peephole because I think he's going to refuse, and that just sounds creepy. I don't even want to go there. I'm just going to say, all right, you have been notified.
Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not.
Nope, guard. That's about it.
Yes?
Goodbye to you. And it's been a good long time. We're going to do a hard save here. It's been like an hour since I had a hard save. I missed your comment, Yona. We believe you. Thank you. It's just nice that I can actually demonstrate that I'm not a flim-flam artist. That I have actual experience, training, etc. There, I mean, I was gonna say you wouldn't believe, but you would probably believe. There's a non-zero number of people who say dream interpretation is shit and you're a con artist. I've had that said directly to me on more than one occasion. I'm like, I mean, I'm not, but I can't change what you believe. So there you have it. I also wanted to be able to play this pinball machine. It won't let me. Any of them. But I didn't know there were 3 of them down here because I've never zoomed in. That's cool. Let's check out this window. Is it time?
Again, you find yourself looking at that big old window.
I found the note in the workshop. That's where the key is. Oh, yes, 97% chance. Let's do it.
There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key.
Oh, we're going to need the key.
It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Hey, somebody's hidden a key in the bush, I say, pointing at the window.
Huh?
The big guy looks behind him. Well, I'll just ask him, can you let me slide by so I can grab that thing?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The Hawthorne's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
Maybe I should have asked Hardy to tell his boys to hand it to me.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you.
Good man, Theo. Thank you very much. I gratefully take the key.
The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
I'm going to thank him. Thank you, Theo.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
Jesus, baby girl. She is driving me nuts. You want too much attention right now. I can't. You want attention? You're going on stream. There she is. Now you're going on the floor. Get out of here. She's knocking shit off the counters. Can't. I can't with that horse. Oh, she's back. Can't with that horseplay.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
Anyone here know why this key was hanging right outside the Union Box window?
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
I wonder what this opens up.
It's for the blue door in the kitchen. There was a note there that you missed. It said the workshop key is behind the window. It's this key.
He makes a note in his blue notebook. I thought I was saying that out loud to elicit a response from the Hardy Boys. But Kim piped up, so fair enough. All right, we got the key. We got the key so we don't have to go all the way upstairs to get back into that area if we wanted to. Let's do a little quick save here. Well, it's time to have a chat with these folks again. Got to tell them all about...
It's you again. What is it?
Tell them all about Clausier's storytelling. Let's go over that rape victim again.
Again? Seriously, man. Fine.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Whatever.
I thought that was going to get me here, but it was the next option. Clausier. Titus Clausier says she was not raped.
Fuck. I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
Task complete. Speak to the assault victim. Gained experience plus 10. Well, now, I just let the cat out of the bag and Titus is pissed at Clausier. I guess I don't know her anything, and she doesn't know him anything, but still, it's making waves here.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
For the record.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
I mean, I got the sense she wasn't telling me the full story. Could have been she wasn't telling me the truth at all. She seemed genuinely fond of him, though. You know, she described spending time with that other guy, the victim, the dead hanged man, in a lot more detail and with a lot more interest and depth of feeling than she described hanging out with Titus and these guys.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
All right, fellas, cut the bullshit. She told me the truth.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Titus Hardy.
Elizabeth cuts in, her voice ringing through the room like a warning shot.
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
The room is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. The rest of the cafeteria has gone quiet, too. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
He turns to Titus, who's still breathing heavily.
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
He slams an audio tape on the table. So what's on this tape?
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why. Won't you listen to it?
Where did you get the tape?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
So you bugged them, huh? How'd you do that?
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
So which one of you is doing this advanced radio work then?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Looks like Fat Angus just confessed.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
The chief picks his beer back up to offer a silent toast.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
Good man, Angus. All right, well, where can I listen to this tape?
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
The lieutenant whispers.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Shanky, my ass is not a tape player. I don't say, because I don't give a fuck about that guy. But I'd like to, and just stare at him and see what he says.
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
Says Glenn, his voice echoing like a thunder. His voice echoing like thunder in the small room.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
It's a stupid question. The game's telling me. You don't have to ask every question, dumbass.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
All right, that's enough for now. I'll get back to the investigation.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy.
I take the tape and say, fine, I'll listen to it.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
New task has been assigned, Door Gunner Megamix. Item gained, tape, Door Gunner Megamix. All right. That's it. I'm going to take off for now. There it is. We have moved the storyline along. Got all kinds of stuff here. We got new points. I got 2 skill points to save up on. Ooh. I am still only 6 hours and 25 minutes away from unlocking the solution to the problem entitled Wasteland of Reality, which, if you recall, when I started internalizing this thought, it was going to take 20 hours, and I'm like, I don't know if I'll still be playing in 20 hours. I should have known. I will definitely still be playing on Wednesday when this thing pops up. So, anyway. We've got new tasks. Ask Clausier about Sunday night. And listen to the Door Gunner Megamix. Question is, how do we do that exactly? I also want to put on another shirt. What shirt was I wearing? I want to wear +1 conceptualization or +1 rhetoric. Let's go conceptualization, I guess. There aren't really any better shirts. That's it. I got the polo and the red shirt. I think it's about time for me to start organizing these things a little bit better here. Gloves. Oh shit, eyeglasses. I gotta put these eyeglasses way up at the top, but I also need to put this necktie way up at the top. Oh my god. Organizing stuff. Oh, glasses actually comes before necktie. It does. Meaning I should grab these glasses. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the ass. Why did I start this project? Well, those are all the things. Okay. Neckties go here. And then it is jackets. All the jackets. This is a jacket. Oh shit, that's a bow tie. All right. There we go. That's fine. Jacket. I got more jackets. Oh, we got a ton of jackets. We got all these jackets. Son of a bitch. Why did I start this project? I don't know. It was a bad idea. But I'm doing it now. And after the jackets is actually... Wait a minute. It's actually neck jackets, then neckties. All right, well, then we're just going to move the neckties after the jackets. There we go. Because we're going left to right across the rows. So hats, glasses, jackets, neckties, and the next is shirts. Okay. Oh shit, that's another jacket. God damn. It should be like a right click to sort and sort it by item type. Oh, another necktie. No, come on. There we go. All right. Shirts. Okay. Shirt. This is another shirt. And another shirt. Okay. This is not so bad. Now we're down to pants. No, now we're down to gloves. Gloves. And then pants. And then shoes. Oh, finally. Now I make sure nothing's out of order. Hats, glasses, jackets, neckties, shirts, gloves, pants, shoes. Done. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Let's go outside. We were headed outside anyway. Why? I can't remember. And now that we're alone outside, we're going to do a quick save. And I can interact. Stop. Just stand still. Now we can interact with the tape. Interact.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
I play the tape.
You push Command Set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
That loud screech. Some kind of machinery.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
Ah.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too.
Well, turns out the hanged man was not a very nice guy.
Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally.
Corty. So his name is Corty, huh?
I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style.
Well, he's threatening to do it.
Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
After a click, silence. The rest of the tape is empty.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your portal-reel. The tape stops spinning.
Kim, what was that at the very end? Silence?
End of recording.
Well, what do you think of that tape?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
Well, I guess I agree. He also sounded inebriated.
Still.
The lieutenant looks at the tape. You are familiar with this look by now. It's his look of suspicion.
There's more going on here than we know.
So who is this Corti?
Corti could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work.
Oh, yeah, sure. All right, well, what's Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
You think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
All right, then. Well, what now?
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony. At least to some degree.
We can go right back up there and talk to her again, I guess. Okay, we're back to our inventory. Talk to Clausier about the Door Gunner Megamix. Well, let's do another quick save. I guess we're on a mission. We go right back upstairs. Now we get to try that key. Take a shortcut.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
I try the workshop spare key on the door.
The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years, but then the lock clicks.
Hey, here we go. Ta-da! And more things. What is this? This pinball says, Franco-Nigerian. The theme is horses and swords. And we go upstairs, and here's our shortcut. Through 2 screens rather than like 6. All right, Clausier, we need to talk.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Sure is. Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table. This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions, only that he was never bad to me.
Except on this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
She arches her brow. I respond, those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
She picks the cup back up.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Indeed, the word whore was used.
He liked the way it sounded when he said it. As to Kohoi,
The young woman lights a new cigarette with the butt of her old one.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little cohoy. It wasn't his everything.
Why did he say things like that? Just machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Persona?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that.
She does speak of him fondly. I mean, she could be purely deceiving me and terrified and just controlling her responses, but I gotta say, it just doesn't sound like it to me.
He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Cohoy massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezud all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
Shit, he never took it off.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. It sounded like a deeply troubled man.
Miss Clausier, he said he was mentally done. That sounds like a broken man to me.
Well, maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality.
Weren't you afraid of him?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil.
Is that so?
Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Cohoy. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
She wouldn't. She doesn't have the full Hoy in her.
The kind of violent... Well, what is half-light again? Half-light is when my body takes control and threatens people. My internal sense of bullying or menacing. Well, threatening says, not so much. Not this one. And I've got a cat in the way. You gotta move, buddy. There you go. Lay down. Good boy.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
Miss Sparkle says, I hate this attempt of molding the genders into a blob because women are built different. I tend to agree, but also there is what they call the exception that proves the rule. She might actually be one of those with a maybe stronger masculine side and a bit of a mean streak, maybe. In her mind, if she'd been born a man, she would do all the things that men physically can do. That's just where her brain, her personality wants to go. Then again, this could also be a little awakening added to the game. Unfortunately, I mean, this whole game looks like it was made in Europe, and so there's very much European sensibilities added to it, and you can kind of feel it all the way throughout. I'm just kind of accepting it for what it is. No reason to believe specifically, Sweet Baby Inc. or any of those other diversity consultationers. What the fuck do you call them? Consultants. Jesus, couldn't think of the word consultationer. Diversity consultants were employed to work on this game, but you never know. Miss Sparkle says, I am like that too, in a way. If I was a dude, I would break so many hearts, but as a female, I'm a femcel. Aw, I feel bad. I have a feeling your current condition is temporary. And perhaps that's just what I want to believe, but that's honestly how I feel.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
Shit, we gotta run back downstairs and go confront Hardy again.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
It's been 7 years, but you're sweet. Oh, well, I mean, that's a decent stretch. Hey, it's not easy. I mean, like, if I had to get back out on the dating scene myself right now, how would I fare? Well, I'm fat, number one, and lazy. I probably wouldn't. It's like, whatever. I probably honestly just wouldn't. But that's different from wanting it and not being able to make it happen. You know, I wouldn't want to be lonely. I wouldn't want to be, I don't know, I spend a lot of time alone as it is, but my wife's around. So it's not the same as having no one. Having someone who's around and you just don't talk much, but that's how we roll. That's okay. That's different than having no one to talk to ever. No one who says they care or, yeah. So it's pickle. I don't know what to do. Certainly not anything I can solve in a one-sided chat on the internet, of course. And you're not asking me to, of course. I'm going to ask her, Ms. Clausier, now that you've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
There may be some mysteries that will never get solved, like what was this guy's actual name? We might never know. Might not matter. But now I'm curious. I'm like, they're not telling me his real name. Now I want to know.
Lelystad. That's a good start.
The lieutenant writes down the information in his notebook.
We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Miss Clausier, where is Lelystad? The place, I mean.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Turning back to the woman, I ask, were you both from Oranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Compatriots? Does this mean like, when someone becomes you would use the term expat for someone who leaves, so compatriots might mean we were from the same country. But that's also a word you use when you are in the same military outfit. I'm still holding on to that theory.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex. Alcohol.
Good guess.
No love for Muta Oranje? Wasn't he a soldier?
So, a military man, but not a patriot.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
A flash of rage comes over you. The words have already left your mouth.
A disgraceful mercenary. The Oranese state should have checked his breast for sublime patriotic rage before they trained him.
Had he passed that test, we wouldn't have gotten along. Come to think of it, maybe it was our hate for Oranje that brought us together. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too.
Interesting. I suppose... Let's go look here. Because I've had a lot of answers here. For whatever reason, the fact that I had 9 supposedly fascist responses I guess the game decided to compel me to speak that line about he should have been a patriot. Didn't give me an option. Didn't give me. It was the only thing I could say to move the conversation forward. I would not have ever said anything like that. Certainly wouldn't have chosen it. All right, back to the conversation. I ask, how old was he, miss?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
Hard living, brother.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no.
The memory actually makes her smile.
We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
We were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up.
The lieutenant makes a correction in his notes. I ask her about his eye color.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
Ms. Sparkle says, the names of these characters are crazy. Yeah, I think they did this on purpose. They took stereotypes or cultural differences of different regions of the world, and they mixed them all up together so that no place would be identifiable with any current place. I see that they took a lot of effort to make that true. They, all of the places they listed in the racial context, say, it doesn't map onto any place specifically. We can guess a little bit, people that speak with a slightly Hispanic accent are called the Mesks. But fair enough, but I really appreciate that, so they took this, Klaasje, and her name is, like a Northern European, Icelandic, people from the, Swedish or whatever, people from the Hergenbjergen, Swedish chef type talking places. But is that any way like what it's been described as? I don't know. We're just kind of laying it on top of that. She certainly doesn't have an accent like she comes from Sweden or anything. So, yeah, I appreciate that attention to detail they put into it.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
It is very interesting, though. So here's another difference between men and women. I can't imagine a man ever saying a severe scar on her face made it look like his face was cracking away into a weird smile. And to hear a man say it with like a fondness, like it was a charming quality. I mean, it's just very, men are very much more visually focused, but a woman can look at a man who's, any other woman might go, oh my God, he's hideous. What do you see in him? And she's like, I think he's cute. And that's all you need. It just has to work for you. Men are a little more typical in that regard. All right, back to the conversation. I asked, he had a tattoo. Do you know what it meant?
Oh, that.
What did it represent? Do you know?
It was a map of his life and the places he visited as a soldier. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
For showing off to chicks? How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Oranese lit?
Is this Oranese lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Oranese lit. A moment's respite, dark and hopeless as the struggle itself.
She leans even further back to demonstrate.
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands.
Miss Sparkle says, true, that's why I don't get the dudes that say it's their looks that don't get them anyone. Fair enough, yeah. You gotta really, for men, personality goes a lot further than it does for women in that regard.
And the woman goes like, what was this, baby?
She points at the air with her sharp-nailed finger, picking out an imaginary tattoo star.
And he says, that was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that. So she goes, okay, but what's this, baby? And he's like, saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths.
Miss Sparkle says, you should see my kid's dad. He is exactly an inch taller than me, and I'm 5'3", and everyone told me I was too pretty for him. I never saw him like that. I think he's handsome. Also, I don't see myself as pretty. Oh, well, you are pretty. So don't say that. Also, if that was fishing for compliments, you got me. But I mean it.
And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
And you were the woman in this conversation, I ask.
Oh, yeah.
She nods. All right, can you tell us precisely what these mean? And I hand her the photo.
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
She pours herself some more coffee.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Task complete. The victim's tattoos. Experience gained plus 30. Also, plus 5 XP. For who knows what. Just talking to her. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I cannot save, but we can... Or can I? Nope. Cannot. I am going to pause it. I'm late for a break, and I got to pee. It's time. And the dog decided to get up and walk around. Looks like he's looking for a place to pee inside. So I'm going to get him outside. I'm going to duck out for 10 minutes. I'll be right back after this commercial message and some coming soon trailers. Hang in there.
Benjamin the Dream Wizard wants to help you pierce the veil of night and shine the light of understanding upon the mystery of dreams. Every episode of his Dreamscapes program features real dreamers gifted with rare insight into their nocturnal visions. New Dreamscapes episodes appear every week on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, and other video hosting platforms, as well as free audiobooks exploring the psychological principles which inform our dream experience, and much, much more. To join the Wizard as a guest, reach out across more than a dozen social media platforms and through the contact page at benjaminthedreamwizard.com, where you will also find the Wizard's growing catalog of historical dream literature available on Amazon, documenting the wisdom and wonder of exploration into the world of dreams over the past 2,000 years. That's Benjamin the Dream Wizard on YouTube and at benjaminthedreamwizard.com.
end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Wait, what?
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Now hold on a second. Don't you listen to him. What did I ever do to you?
She will do everything in her power to stop you.
Well, yeah. I don't want to die.
She'll charm, and she'll lie, and she'll promise you the world, and if she has the chance, she will kill you 12 times over.
Is he even listening to me?
Don't forget, the fate of the world rests on your shoulders.
You're not actually going to try and slay me or anything, right? Because I wouldn't if I were you. If you try, I'll kill you as many times as it takes.
Timing. Nice short break. Came back right at the end. Jusant coming soon. There it is. And we're back. Wonderful. Wonderful. I can just get this dog to sit still. Come on, boo-boo. Come on. We were in the middle of grilling politely, gently, Miss Clausier, the Oranje disco dancer. Okay, he's going to get up after all. Okay, get up. Now he's going to go chase this cat. Hey, leave her alone. Oh my God. You cannot chase each other on my desktop. Come sit down. Okay. Okay? Are you done? You going to come get back in my lap? Come here. Come here. Come here, peanut butter. Come here. Come on. Oh my goodness. Come here. Okay, fine. Don't come here. Anyway, now that the animal drama is mostly finished, now he's going to get in my lap. Are you kidding? Come on. I spoke too soon. Miss Sparkle says they can do what they want, Ben, and they do. They do what they want. And they do where they want. This is also true. Miss Sparkle says, I left to see what Review Tech USA was doing, and he isn't fighting the trolls anymore. So, I'm back. Wonderful. Glad to have you. She had just finished telling me a bit about the tattoos. That's what it was. She was telling me about the tattoos. And I say, thank you for clearing that up.
Change of topic, perhaps?
She looks over her shoulder towards the sea, then back at you, smiling faintly. I ask her, tell me something odd. Did he enjoy his death?
Why do you ask?
It's just a feeling I have. Indulge me.
Well, it's wrong. He had too many drinks to down and too many bad things to do. Couldn't tap out just yet.
Well, fair enough. Do you think it could have been love that did him in?
It very well could be, yes.
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean?
That's what he told me. That love did him in.
That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up. There, she momentarily lost control over straight back guy. It appears that she feels guilty.
Do you feel guilty?
Of course I do. I'm hungover. I feel guilty about everything.
Do you feel guilty about what happened to him?
Among many other things, yes. I could have done something. There's always something he can do, right? Ask me something else.
Miss Sparkle says, I have no tattoos. Do you have tattoos, Ben? I do not. I'm not a fan. Not opposed to them. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong or immoral about getting them. I don't think it means you're any particular type of person other than you like art on your skin. Not my style. I thought about getting a tattoo years and years ago. 15 plus 17 years ago at this point-ish. I thought about, if I ever got to black belt in the martial art I was practicing, Aikido, I would get a tattoo, one on each shoulder, one for strength and one for benevolence, 2 of the 7 code of Bushido virtues of the ancient samurai. And I never got the tattoos, and I never got the black belt. Never even made it to brown belt after 5 years training. Some would say I didn't train hard enough. Some would say I just didn't have a talent for it. Physicality is not my thing. I'm a works with his brain kind of guy. Also, never been a huge fan of tattoos on women. In terms of, like, if I had to choose between a woman with tattoos or without, I would choose without. Something about it, like, I just don't like it. Nothing wrong with that. Just my preference. Yona says, I have tats. Well, nothing wrong with that, of course. This Miss Orania gal looks like she needs to eat. Yes, she is way too skinny. Way too skinny. Miss Sparkle says, that sounds awesome, so you can fight. Nice. And, so you can fight. Nice. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if I had to. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not way out of shape now. It's just like, when you're training. Oh, God, I used to exercise 4 hours a day on the average day. 2 hours in the morning at the gym and 2 hours of back-to-back hour-long classes. Just about 5 days a week. And a Saturday class once in a while with the martial arts. So I've got a lot of that muscle memory in me. Still, after all these years, I can do a few techniques that just spontaneously come back to my mind. It came in handy when I was working inpatient psych. Every now and again, there was a person that made some poor decisions, got physical, and needed to be restrained, literally. But nah, like, I wouldn't want to go toe to toe with someone about my size and strength. You know, if they're the least bit more athletic, they'll kick my ass probably. That's what guns are for. Let me tell you. All it takes is about 7 pounds of pressure, little trigger pull. I can do that with my pinky. Miss Sparkle says, "Yeah, I keep getting told that from men about tattoos on women." Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a line in the red pill community, you know, for what it's worth. It's a phrasing that's popular in that, or at least in the gender realist crowd, so to speak, that says, you know, men prefer debt-free virgins with no tattoos. And I've found that pretty consistent. Most men, they would not like to initiate a relationship with a woman who is bringing in an additional burden that they have to then work to resolve. The virgin thing, I mean, just ask any guy, would you rather be her first or her 31st? And most guys will say, yeah, given an option, I would prefer to be the only. Women don't seem to care too much about that. The other way around in terms of how many other girls a man may have been with. Actually, 0 is not as appealing to most women, just on average. Exceptions being the rule. And then the tattoos thing, yeah, for some reason, just not as, again, one of those gendered things. Like, women kind of might actually prefer a guy with tattoos, says something about them, like something about decorations on the skin. It's more appealing to women. Your mileage may vary, as they say, but men, not so much. There's something about having the, it depends on the guy, but, given all three of those things, most guys would tick all three of those boxes and saying, yeah, that's preferable, all things considered, or all else being equal. There you go. Miss Sparkles, oh, you got to move, cat. He jumped right in front of your words as I was trying to read them. Cece, go lay down. I also said, never mind, it's a skill issue. You can't fight. Yeah, not anymore. I'm not going to pretend I'm some big Bruno badass, Hey! He went after the other girl. She's sleeping and he starts bopping her on the head. Fuck you. Don't be an asshole. My cat is asshole. Miss Sparkles also says, yeah. Then another cat walks in front. Yeah, I like to ask each man I've talked to about this over the past 5 years, and you're right. That's one of my reasons for keeping my body count low. Also, I just don't want all that inside me, literally. Yeah, they're little bastards, but I love them. Let's see. I'm going to continue. I'm going to press the fever dream I had the first night where I went and spoke with the corpse in my dreams. I'm going to tell her that the corpse in my dreams told me something miraculous is coming.
The lieutenant blinks. His expression does not change.
But he doesn't like it.
All right, let's see where this is going.
From way out in the northwest, he told me.
Cool.
The woman nods. Well, I might as well tell her we requested a semen screening from processing.
Good for you.
Oh, did I fuck it up telling her these things? She's shut down now. She's like, fuck you. None of this is funny. I'm not having it anymore.
What do you think it will tell us?
I don't know how a semen sample works, officers. How many days after intercourse does it have to be? I don't even know if he had sex with someone else. We didn't go steady.
This is one of her maneuvers. The others are fast asleep, as always. It's hard to say what the truth is.
All right, then. Well, I think we're finished with this line of questioning. I say, handing the lieutenant back his notes.
All right.
Task complete. Question Clausier about the dead man. Gained experience +10. All right, says the lieutenant as he puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Miss Markles puts up a smiley face emoji and says, gross. Yeah. It's kind of gross. There was speculation that he may have experienced an ejaculatory release during his strangulation, but maybe now that I know about the bullet, and I didn't remember that until right now, he was dead before he was hanged, so I should have avoided that entire line of questioning because it was a dead end, and I just kind of upset her for no reason. That didn't come to my brain until just now, which is why I would be terrible in this line of work. Trying to interact with people and ask them appropriate questions only. I will ask questions to satisfy my own curiosity sometimes. And it would be the wrong thing to say to, I don't know, a victim during an interview or whatnot. Yep, not cut out to be a detective. I think I'm in the right line of work talking about dreams. There you go.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
That is what she said, yes.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old?
Mr. Internal Visual Calculus, where is this line of questioning going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder?
That's what it is. Grim self-reflection.
You could ask either one of them.
I turn around and, by way of parting, ask, Miss Clausier, how old do you think I am?
Huh. How old do I think you are? I don't know. 1, 2. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. How old is a newborn cub who doesn't remember he's a cub?
I think I'm probably somewhere around 45.
You're not.
He's squinting at you.
Sure he is. You know, age is just a number.
Just a number, huh? Oh, Miss Sparkle says, going to make dinner. I'll read out your last comment here. Lol. Nice way of putting it. I read somewhere that you do that and poop yourself when you... Oh, yeah, I read about the bowels releasing when you die. Yeah, and actually it's not just people who enjoy, say, autoerotic asphyxiation that might have an ejaculatory release as they're asphyxiating. It's other people. It does happen. The bowel releasing thing, I thought it was more common, but it can be quite a while after death, and it can also not happen at all. It depends a lot on how much you got in your colon, whether or not the sphincter muscles freeze when rigor mortis sets in. If they freeze shut and don't release before your body goes into rigor, then the poop doesn't come out. It's actually quite more complicated than I thought it was. I thought it was just, as soon as you die, all your muscles go slack, including... But maybe I should have known that you say your sphincter muscle, because it doesn't go slack when you're asleep or when you pass out. And nor are you always consciously holding it closed. We pay no attention to the idea that our sphincter just kind of stays closed on its own. So maybe I should have puzzled that out. But I'd never had occasion to think about it until I asked someone once, hey, I heard this thing. And they're like, actually, let me tell you, the medical... I had access to all kinds of nurses and doctors when I worked in the hospital. So I would very often satisfy my curiosity, like, tell me this thing. So that's where I get my... I would say maybe tremendous breadth of trivia about all kinds of weird stuff. Just if I think it and I'm curious, I ask someone or I look it up. And then, man, to just know all kinds of things. And, superficial stuff. I wouldn't say I have a grasp on the intricacies of, say, heart surgery, even though I know the broad strokes. Well, you take one heart out and you put another one in. That's a transplant, but you get the idea. And then you have to sew the arteries back together. I wouldn't know how to do it. Wouldn't be able to describe the process or name the parts, but, I get the gist of it. Ms. Sparkle says, did you know that muscle can affect your lie detector test? And she goes on to say, you are full of useful and useless information, which is what I say about myself. You never know when that stuff's going to come in handy. And sometimes knowing a whole lot of different things about unrelated stuff, at a certain point, it's like you stare at those stereogram fuzzy pictures and suddenly a sailboat pops out or a teddy bear. That happens in my brain with connections between things that are seemingly useless. I mean, why do I know that? Why is it taking up space in my head? Why am I thinking about that when I should or could be thinking about something else? And sometimes a picture comes together of like, hey, those things are connected and they mean something else. Wow. And then I make these discoveries and I go look it up and I'm like, yep, that's what I thought. I puzzle out little things. Couldn't give you an example of what that is or how that works, but Yona says, I have a Harley Quinn tat, a centric circle, creator tat, a dragon tat, anime tat with scissors. It's all good stuff. I've seen amazing artwork. Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't have a problem with it. It's not my style, but nothing wrong with it. Hey, if you're happy, it's your skin. You got to wear it. So, Yona says, Ben, our brains work the same. Describing. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, I think that's where it's a certain kind of person. This is how we do things. I think that's just how the brain works in general, but there's people who aren't quite as voraciously curious. And like Yona, you've told me things, you give me proper names for concepts that I couldn't fish out of my brain in a million years. You get what I'm saying? You go, I've heard of that. Here's what it is. Here's the name for it. I'm like, that's right. That's what it was. I couldn't have found that terminology in my Swiss cheese brain if I'd tried. Anyway, back to the game. Miss Clausier says, sure, he's 45. Age is just a number.
Yes, but for him that number is higher than 45.
I think I just look old.
Wait.
10 miles of bad road.
This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
To the laboratorium. Thought gained. Date of birth generator. I didn't have to think about this, but now I am. And we're going to put some things together. What am I going to get rid of? What am I going to get rid of here? Miss Sparkle says, you don't look old. Stop that. Oh, thank you. No, I mean my character. I think I look, I think the fat in my cheeks smooths out the wrinkles, so I got a little bit of a baby face. Yeah, I mean, I'm 47. It would be nice if, I'm up into my 60s and I still look like a kind of a rather youthful Santa Claus-ish. Like the gray hair. Like I couldn't possibly have so much gray hair. No, in real life, 47, I think. Pretty sure. I don't pay attention anymore. Don't really care. I'm looking forward to 60, though. I think I've wanted to be 60 my entire life. I think I was born thinking I was already 60. Something, and it's not that exactly 60. It's like, but that age of life where I've been through enough decades. I've seen some things, and now I'm, I was born to be a wizard in that way. Oh, you thought I was 42? Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, what are we going to get rid of here? Jamais vu, 15th tribe. Do I need money? Do I need 10 cents from every green orb clicked? I don't think that's necessary. I think we can get rid of that one, but let's look around here. Oh, this is Revacholian Nationhood. This was the one I was going to get rid of next because it just turned out to be useless. I very, very rarely would choose nationalist dialogue options and that they give us -1 morale, that it damages me to give those. I'm not drinking any alcohol or taking in any substances to raise my physical stats. I don't need those at all. We're going to get rid of this one. We're going to forget that. We're going to look at date of birth generator. Problem. Your face looks like it's 58 and your body feels like it's 60. Your mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100. Both longer than they ought to be, the day and the century. But for how long, then, has this thing attached to your sentience walked this planet's crust? Time to start racking those brains of yours, Elder One. When and where were you born? Research time, 7 hours and 15 minutes. No research bonus. Internalize. Born to be a mage. Yes, I think I've wanted to be a wizard all my life. I just didn't know it until I realized I really could be. Took me 40 some odd years to kind of figure out what that actually meant and that anyone could actually be such a thing. Now I got to tell others how to do it. That's part of one of my next projects. When I'm ready, it's got to percolate. That could be another 15 years before that book comes out. We'll see. All right, what are we doing here? Talk to Titus about the Door Gunner Megamix. All right. Well, we're done with this conversation. We're going to do a quick save. Let's take the shortcut back downstairs and go confront Titus yet again. Hey.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
I run my fingers across the dust of the white Deora machine.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Kim, what is a white Deora?
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
How about we fire one of these bad boys up and play some ball?
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
He looks away.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
Kim, it sounds like you don't enjoy pinball very much.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
What about that other one there, the Franco-Nigerian ball? Want to play that?
No.
He's not having it. Well, I got an even chance. It's a red check. We only get to try it once. I think about Kim Kitsuragi. Kim Kitsuragi. Let's see if anything pops up.
Kim Pinball Kitsuragi.
A.K.A. Kimball?
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
Oh my God, you're Kim Pinball Kitsuragi.
So now he remembers.
He looks at you in the silence of the workshop, then takes his glasses off and cleans them.
Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, a.k.a. the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations.
No, you don't really seem to like pinball.
No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastique, science fiction, and historic romance franchise. It is lame.
Well, then why did you... Oh, wait. Then why are you called Kimball?
I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy.
Well, how did you...
Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop.
Okay.
It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story.
Wow, Kim, you were a juvie cop for 15 years?
That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno. Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop.
Wait a minute, so that's why you didn't want to talk to Kuno, huh?
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
Well, don't worry. I'll keep calling you Kim.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
We got a little more lore. Kim Kitsuragi.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
All right, Savoir Faire. What does that mean?
Nothing, nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock.
Well, it is my duty as a cop to investigate every square inch of this world.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
And just having that little bit of internal dialogue opened up another possible thought. And what are we going to get rid of? We're going to get rid of apricot chewing gum. I don't want to get rid of that. That's boosts my perception. Kingdom of Conscience. Moralist dialogue options. Heal +1 morale. Learning cap for volition and logic raised to 5. I mean, maybe we keep that one. Wompty Dumpty. Encyclopedia passives give you extra XP and real. Well, I'm going to keep that. What else we have? Volumetric. Let's see. All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap for endurance raised to 4. Do I need endurance? I don't even know. Let's see. Pain threshold. Psyche learning caps raised by 1. Do I need +1 to pain threshold? CC, you leave her alone. What is my pain threshold? Where is it? Pain threshold. I mean, it's already at a 5. Do I need +1 to pain threshold? I don't think I do. Let's go back here. It was Guillaume Le Million. Yeah, I don't think I need that pain threshold. We're going to forget that. And I'm going to pop this new thought in there. The Jamrock Shuffle. The problem. Oh, -1 to Esprit de Corps for confusing behavior. But it'll pop up in an hour, which means tomorrow. Early on tomorrow, it'll pop up. The problem, as stated. By now it's clear you like to look inside containers. You like to open doors and see what's behind them. Maybe secrets? Maybe more juicy containers? Let's be honest. You like all containers. Trash cans, utensil trays, manholes, coat pockets, secret containers left behind by the Philippian kings that hold forbidden relics. Okay, you haven't come across one of those yet, but one day. Wait. Is that why you're so hell-bent on opening containers? Do you think you'll find the Holy Scepter and the Orbe de Montaigne? Let's see if internalizing this thought yields an answer. Here we go. Good. Good. And it's been a while. We're going to do another hard save. Save the game. Scuse. All right, off we go. Let's talk to these bastards. We're about to have another conversation.
It's you again. What is it?
He gets up, comes over, and crosses his arms. So, Titus, I talked to Clausier about the tape.
And?
And? Nothing. She stands by what she said.
That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
Yeah, Titus, it was pretty bad. Honestly, I expected it to have more of an effect.
No shit, it was bad. The fuck did she say then? It's all fuck-a-doodle fine. This is what people are supposed to talk like?
We got some options here. I could say she did not say it was fuck-a-doodle fine. That's too literal. We don't need to say that. Number 2, it did not come as a surprise to her, and she definitely wasn't scared. Number 3, actually, I think it made her a little nostalgic. Number 4, if anything, she seemed turned on by the whole door gunning thing. Or Titus, she said she'd like to be a little door gunner herself if she could. I don't think we're going to go there. I'm very curious to see what he would say if I chose that dialogue option, but we're going to keep it tame, keep it a little vague. It was not a surprise, honest, and she definitely was not scared. That's all he really needs to know.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Kim volunteering a response I would not have thought to make.
Funny. No good goddamn psycho whore.
I mean, she would probably say, that's fair.
All right. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
Her voice is a bit softer than earlier.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawmen?
Titus rubs his chin with his palm, as if trying to grind it smooth. Task complete. Door Gunner Megamix gained XP plus 10. We've got options. Number 1, maybe she isn't who you thought she was. Number 2, maybe she is still in denial. You know, like a defense mechanism. Or, be straight with me, Titus. What really happened? I think this is one where I'm going to be able to ask him all 3, but we're going to start with being in denial. Let's go with that.
Yeah, maybe. That is a possibility.
Then again, Titus, maybe she isn't who you thought she was.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
We've got more answers, and I think this was only going to let me pick one. Number 1, Titus, she has my whole skill set compromised. She's some kind of a pro. Number 2, I mean, you don't know. She's a model. She won a pageant. Or she's not some helpless girl. She handled that mercenary well enough. Number 4, actually, she's a hardcore party girl with a bigger death wish than mine. Or number 5, I guess you do know her then. I think we're going to go with that she's not a helpless girl. She handled that mercenary well enough.
Handled him? She got into some stupid shit with that guy. Shit we had to take care of.
Is that so?
Yes, we heard all about it, and the fact still stands. You were more disturbed by the tape than her.
Titus, be straight with me. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
He puts his giant face in his hands and sighs. New task. Get the whole story from Titus.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs.
I'm a little worried about her. I mean, what happens if Titus and his boys decide they're going to go after her next? She's alone in that room. And they're downstairs. She hangs out on the roof a lot, but you know.
Next time, You see her? Tell her. Titus said.
Fuck on!
He throws his beer can down.
This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
Yeah.
There's a silence in the room. Alain starts saying something, then thinks best not to.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
That's at least 2 or 3 each.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
Carr wants to get his ass kicked.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be.
Shit. Convince Titus he is being manipulated. Look at this. Mentioned that it was all a surreal play. Strange reaction to the bullet. Evrart asked him to cooperate. Compromised. Skill set is known. Warned about the tribunal. Discussed the 8th Hardy. Confronted about the drug trade. And still only an even chance. My rhetoric is through the floor. Do I start this whole... Okay, it's a white check, so we can try it again later. But come on. Roll them bones.
Clausia is playing them like a fiddle. Tell them how bad they got played, and they'll tell you the truth. There are many ways to go about it. All of them really good.
Okay, so rhetoric was going to give me... It was going to give me a hint. It was going to tell me how to get the answer out of him. So I'm going to have to guess instead. What do I know about this guy? Miss Sparkle says, I don't even know what that means. I don't know what it means either. I don't know why all those things added up and I only had an even chance. And I failed. We got options. Number 1, you guys are always telling me they're good and they aren't. I don't know what that means. Number 2, okay, man, it's clear you are being played like a fiddle and play an imaginary fiddle. Number 3, I know what's going on here. I've been wrong too. I got this fucking dark shadow over my heart. Number 4, Titus, the same thing happened to me. She manipulated me too. Or number 5, I'm gonna tell you a little story about Kim here. All right, I have a feeling 1 and 2 are off the table. You guys are always telling me things are good when they aren't. Fuck that. Number 2, mock him by playing an imaginary fiddle? No. You don't want to. Don't bruise his pride, or don't go up against his pride. You'll lose. I think 3 or 4. I've been wrong too. I got this dark shadow over my heart. That might do it, but that might be a little too poetic for him. He seems like a simple guy. I'm choosing between 4 and 5. Okay, what are the reasons? Number 4, I'm going to try and commiserate with him and say, look, man, she fooled me too. We're the same. Little bonding experience. Little bros, yo. Bros before hoes style. Also, I think it might be effective to change the subject. Yeah, Miss Sparkle says number 4. I think 4. I'm going with 4. But I'm tempted to go with 5. I'm going to tell you a story about Kim here. Maybe changing the subject is a way of working it back around to say, you know, not everyone is what they appear to be. Kim, would you imagine this guy is a pinball wizard? He's the champion. He's, you know, that might be a way to break. So if 4 doesn't get me where we're going, I might actually reload this whole conversation and try it again. And maybe go with 5. Like, I think this rhetoric failure was going to give me a surprising piece of here's how you convince this guy to talk to you. But we're going to go with number 4. 3 is a bit much. Yeah, he's going to go, screw your poetic language. Anyway, I am way overthinking this because I don't want to make the wrong choice, but we're going with number 4, just like you said. I agree. That's the one I was going to choose anyway. So here we go.
Sucks for you, but get this straight. No one manipulates Titus Hardy. I knew I was sticking it in crazy.
He points to the stairs.
But you have no idea what you're doing up there. I can see it in your face every time you come down and sing her song. She's in your head, man. You're fucked.
Well, there you go. Looks like that didn't work.
Brutal, Titus. Brutal, but true. She has a hold on him.
The witness has no hold on officers of the RCM. My partner was just trying to get you to come clean in his unusually emotional way.
Why did you say she's manipulating you? She's manipulating them, remember? I didn't tell you to say that. Who told him that filthy lie?
Indeed, rhetoric did not tell me to say that. It told me to say anything. There's so many good ways, all of them equally good.
It was me. I made you sound weak, and I shouldn't have. But this guy, Goldmouth, he's way in over his head. Be careful with his so-called advice.
Yeah, rhetoric, I guess, didn't have good advice. All right, I'm off now. I'm going to reload him. We're going to have that conversation again. I'm now very curious. Let's see here. If I were to load a game, so if I do a quick save and then I bounce back to Whirling in Rags, let's go. Okay, let's do a quick save. And then we are actually going to load it back here and just see what the difference is.
It's you again. What is it?
Uh-oh. It's locked. Wait a minute. Did I make a mistake here? I might have made a mistake. I hit quick save, didn't I? Oh, it was back here. It was 20 minutes back. Or at 15 minutes back. All right, let's try that again. Yep. Confirm. Here we go. We're going to run through some of these dialogues a little bit quicker.
It's you again. What is it?
Oh, shit. No. It was rhetoric. Rhetoric. All right. So what we're going to do is boost the hell out of my rhetoric. So when that roll comes along, and we got to do that with close. So -1 rhetoric. We don't want that. +1 logic, empathy, visual calculus, logic, savoir-faire, empathy, half-light, rhetoric, minus rhetoric, anyway, drama, logic, drama, composure, esprit de corps, conceptualization, pain threshold, shivers, drama, inland empire, pain threshold, rhetoric, white polo shirt gives me +1 rhetoric. Gloves, electrochemistry, half-light. Are there rhetoric pants? Indeed, there are not. Rhetoric shoes. Nope. Well, we only get a slightly better chance. Literally one item boosted my rhetoric. Now rhetoric is actually at a +1. And where is rhetoric? Where is it here? Where is it? Rhetoric. Ooh, it's at a 2. Yeah. Okay. Well, here we go. Conversation
It's
time.
you again. What is it?
Excuse me. So I talked to her about the tape. And she stands by what she said.
Fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
Let's go with a slightly different dialogue tree this time. It was dark stuff, but it didn't prove anything, and it didn't change her mind.
Dark. Dark is when you start a goddamn death rock band. He said he'd rape her.
He shakes his head in disbelief.
What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
We got some different dialogue options here. Let's go hardcore on this one. Titus, she said she would like to be a little door gunner herself if she could.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore.
He gave you an edited tape. No, that's true. That's true, Yona. Ben, you got this. Thank you. Working on it. And if I don't got it, I have the quick save. Just back it up and try it again.
All right. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Looks like some of his dialogue options are going to be the same throughout, which is good because we want to get back to the part where I get to try that rhetoric check again.
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman? Nah. I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
I'm going to say, brother, she's a hardcore party girl with a bigger death wish than mine. Very much a different answer this time around.
Yeah. You're right about that. She takes way too many drugs.
All right, he didn't find that offensive or accusatory. He didn't leap to her defense. He's like, well, true enough.
Well, it's as they say. You can't do anything with an underdose.
The man speaks up with a philosophical look in his eye.
With an overdose, you can at least try to come off it. Take a bath, do breathing exercises, get medical attention as necessary. With an underdose, you're just you.
And who wants to be just themselves? Ooh.
Yeah, but I mean, she has an actual drug problem. Not like you. Not like us. I don't think I've ever seen her sober.
Well, maybe she is still in denial.
Yeah, maybe. That is a possibility.
All right, then be straight with me, Titus. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him.
You know what? I am tired. Next time you see her...
Tell her to fuck off.
This is the petulant...
That lying, scamming...
Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of...
What is this quiet funeral?
Why do we make it
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be.
Here we are back at the check, and I've still got only an even chance. 58%. Here we go.
Convince Titus
Shit.
he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
But one of his boys will.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility.
All right. Rhetoric paid off. I was never getting this answer out of Titus. Failure just confirmed. I need to look someone else, or success confirmed. Failure was inevitable. That's nice to know.
Outside, in the midday sun, ruins. The pavements are cracked and the benches peeling. Newspapers blow in the wind.
All right, I guess that's it then. Case closed. I look around, turn to my partner and say, "We're going home, Kim."
Huh?
The lieutenant raises an eyebrow.
He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
What do we got here? Because of some chick, because you're a foreigner, because you work for the wrong people, or, I guess, because they just like killing. I'm torn between 1 and 4. 3 is not a bad option, but it wasn't about who he was working for. It was about the chick. But is it more insulting to say they just like killing? Let's go with because of some chick. It's closer to the truth. Probably going to sting a little bit more. Taking a chance.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
Elaine he's getting spicy.
The man's fists under the table are balled. You can tell from his neck and shoulders. He means it.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the wild north.
Let's see, we got some options here. Number 1, they just hang you, like in the Dark Ages. Make a display of your corpse. Number 2, they just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember. Or they just hang you, shoot you, light you on fire. They don't care. Let's go buck wild on this one. We're throwing all 3 of them in there.
We didn't light him on fire.
You can hear the fat man wheeze. He's trying to get up.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
Oh boy, we got some options here. I can press it with Angus. Turn to him and say, or what? You're going to kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason? Or I can turn to the old man, to Theo. Well, what happens if I keep talking? You're going to kill me too, in this bar, for nothing? Or I look at Kim. I'm going to look at Kim. Does he recommend I push it, or we back off?
The lieutenant has put down his notebook. His hand is resting on his holster. He gives you an imperceptible nod.
He's ready for action.
What? What does that mean?
What does it mean? It means he's ready for action.
Go for it. The lieutenant has his eyes set on the fat guy. Push Angus. We're almost there.
All right. I looked at my partner. He's ready for action. Esprit de Corps says a successful Esprit de Corps roll says, let's do this shit. Here we go. We're going to push Angus. Or what? You're going to kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
He takes a breath, wheezing.
Shut up, Angus.
He was dead before you hanged him, right?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
The room falls quiet. So quiet you can hear Angus wheezing.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
He grabs at his chest.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him.
Ooh, she's taking off.
After a long walk along the coast.
A long walk along the coast, as in maybe I got to go find her and have a conversation.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
Number 1, I'm sorry I made you guys fight. No, we're not apologizing here. Number 2, whisper to Kim, we did it. He knows we did it. I don't need to say that. So we're choosing between the lower half here. Number 3, so you didn't kill him. He was already dead. Number 4, so who killed the merc then? Any leads? Or whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Let's start with 3. I think we're going to get to answer all of these. So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
Titus admits it with a silent gesture.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death, the bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why would you do that?
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
The girls. Really?
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
So what happened on Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
It's the hooker with the dead politician in her room.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
He turns back to the conversation.
That's okay with the fat man, still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to.
All right, Titus. What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere. Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse we hanged.
I'm suddenly starting to think maybe the peephole was a bullet hole. But the problem is, the bullet didn't pass through the guy's head and out the other side and through the wall. Maybe they're not related. I'm trying to think this through. They can't be. What's the other thing? And if someone did shoot, say, through the wall of the pinball machine shop in such a way that it would enter her apartment and shoot the guy, how did the window get broken? Maybe he staggered back into it and broke it. Maybe. I was thinking, oh, no. He says there was a bullet hole through the window. So that's not the case. Maybe they are unrelated. But I'm wondering if someone who was peeping on her recently, fresh footprints in the dust, actually witnessed that. We're going to get the full story from an actual witness at some point. Someone who made the peephole to peep on her, saw the man die. So it could have been Clausier fired through the glass at him inside there. It went up through the roof of his mouth and lodged in his brain. It would have been slowed down by the window, just enough that it wouldn't have enough force to break through his skull out the other side. That's why it was still in his head. But who actually fired the shot? And why? I'm going to ask him, who's Tibbs? Who is the 8th party?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Right now, he's grateful he hasn't gotten his brother into this mess.
Well, Titus, if Clausier didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
The can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
Who are these people?
They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So who did kill the Merc? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
Maybe.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
But you had an idea about his past, too?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
He pauses to think.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now, threw all that turmoil away, and became himself again.
Well, whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Was it hers?
In a manner of speaking.
What does that mean?
We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it, for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker. The missing 8th Hardy.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
You know, it's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus.
We're Hardy Boys, and that's it.
His face sets like concrete. He shakes his head solemnly. All right. But can you tell me anything about this affiliate? Name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klausya you want to talk to.
All right. Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her. For the last time.
You do that. Hey,
Task.
cop. Before you go.
What's that?
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She, Klausya, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
you would still prefer it if we didn't take her away.
that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
He's got a point.
We'll take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. Whoa. It's all coming. It's all coming together. And it's 7:55. My time before we go get into a conversation with Klausya for one last time. We're going to call it a day. I'm suddenly starting to have the idea that I could finish this week. Maybe. We still don't know who killed him or how, but we've at least gotten to the point of saying it wasn't these guys. They had their reasons. The story makes sense. Tremendous. A very interesting and well-written whodunit. I'm really digging it. Gotta say. Really glad I played this game. However long it has taken to do so. But, of course, that is going to bring us to the end here. Good gameplay, Ben. Thank you, Yona. This has been DreamWizard Plays number 406, Disco Elysium from 2021, the director's cut, part 16. Come on back tomorrow, Tuesday evening, between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Pacific for part 17 as the adventure continues into this noir detective thriller. On your way out, would you kindly like, share, subscribe, tell your friends to join us here tomorrow. The more the merrier. You want to get me rambling, ask me questions in the chat. I'll talk about anything and nothing. I can't stop myself. It's good times. But in the meantime, in between time, I am the Dream Wizard, and I thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.